Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of the Student Alliance Speaker Series from Tigger House Foundation. Before we get into our speaker and I introduce her, I just want to let everyone, please don't forget to follow us on social media platforms for notifications and see the latest and greatest that's happening with the Tigger House Foundation. I'm extremely excited to introduce our guest speaker, Ceilie Reynolds. And I was trying to think back to the first time that I met you. And I believe it was at an event with Riverview Medical Center. And, I just, like everyone else that meets you, I just clicked right away with you and we had so much to talk about. We shared a bunch of adventures with each other that we've been on. In this crazy roller coaster ride, of what we call life. And then I remembered the mini golf tournament that we were in together at Blue Grotto.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
With your mom, who's on the call, and Marilyn Bates. And we had a blast. And I ended up coming home with a 72-inch flat screen TV. I won the raffle. Really just, really great memories together. And I feel like I can go on. And there's so many people that have just so many awesome times with you. And I'm really happy that we've stayed connected.
Me too.
So I have to get back onto the script because I can talk about, fun times that we've had together like many others can. So Ceilie is a local 23-year-old who attended RBC. Ceilie suffered a brain injury last year after a car accident. And she's here with us to share her story of amazing strength and courage. The timing, I don't think could be more perfect with today being International Women's Day and March Women History Month. You have always been one that has given back to the community. And you've always been so amazing and awesome. And here with Tigger House Student Alliance, we talk a lot about, being you, be yourself. And I just feel that you truly reflect that. And you're just amazing. I'm honored to introduce you tonight. Just to the group, I want to let you know that Ceilie will be showing some photos that are graphic. Just want to give you a heads up. They're photos that are very important and they're a part of her story. So we just want to give you a warm welcome.
Thank you.
And we want to go around and just introduce everyone so that you get to know a little bit about us. There's many of us on tonight. So we'll be quick and I'll just start with Carla.
Great. So I'm Carla Scarabino, Chief Development Officer of Tigger House. I have known Ceilie, I think from when she was in, I want to say 3rd grade. Could that be possible?
4th grade.
Fourth grade. Okay. So I've known Ceilie a very long time. Again, I'm so excited that the students are on tonight. I think this is a really important presentation. And I look forward to hearing what Ceilie has to tell us about her story.
Aim.
Hey everybody, Amy Thomas with Tigger House. Thank you everyone for coming on. Ceilie, I look forward to hearing you speak tonight. I work alongside Carla every day and she says nothing but amazing things about you and your perseverance and your strength. And I look forward to hearing it tonight. So thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you.
Kayla.
Hey guys, Kayla Grande, one of the ambassadors here. Ceilie, thank you for being with us tonight and sharing your story. I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm part of the Student Alliance and I work on the Instagram and like the other social medias. And I'm super excited to hear what you have to say.
Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm a junior at RFH and I'm co-president of the Student Alliance. And I'm also really excited to hear what you have to say.
Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a junior. I'm a senior at Trinity Hall. I've been a member of the Student Alliance for a few years now, and Ceilie is a good friend of mine and my family, and I'm very excited to hear her speak.
Matt?
Hey Kaylee, I'm Matt. I'm a sophomore at RFH and I'm a member of the Alliance.
Francis?
Hi, I'm Frankie. I'm a sophomore at Trinity Hall and I'm the secretary of the Student Alliance.
Michael?
Hey everyone, I'm Michael and I'm an ambassador here. Hey Kaylee, how are you? I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to share your story and coming to speak with us today. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say.
Of course, thanks.
Dan?
I'm Dan. I'm a junior at CBA. I'm the other co-president, and I am also very excited to hear you speak with us today. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Tess?
Hi, I'm Tess. I'm part of the Student Alliance. I'm the Modern Day representative, and I'm a junior, and I just want to thank you for coming tonight.
Kira?
Hi, I'm Kira. I also run the social medias, and I'm excited to hear what Ceilie has to say, and thank you for talking to us tonight.
Of course, thank you.
And hi, Caroline. Thank you for joining us. Tess said that you would be on.
Yes, I'm Caroline. I'm a junior at Modern Day, and this is my first meeting, but I'd love to come to more.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Bridget, if you'd like to say hi.
I saw him. Yes, hi. I'm sorry. I'm just got caught up with something and I'm driving home.
No
I'm
worries.
really excited to hear it's Ceilie, right?
Yep.
My mother suffers from a traumatic brain injury. And I was around a lot of people in a hospital, learn a lot about it, and so thank you.
Of course, thank you.
We have Dr. Reynolds. Did you want to say hello?
Hi, I just want to let my daughter know how proud we are of all of the accomplishments that she has achieved in her entire life, and the last 16 months have truly shown strength and fortitude, and how proud we all are of her.
Thanks, Mama.
Beautiful.
Love you, baby.
Love you too.
And I see we have Sally on the phone. Paul, Dana, Diana, Frank, and Maureen. Thank you so much for everyone joining. And we will just go ahead and kick it off.
Great. Well, as Carly said, I'm Ceilie Reynolds. Hi, everybody. I'm 23 years old. I just turned 23 this past week on Tuesday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Tonight, I'm going to try and focus on what has changed in my life, for one. And then making sure that everybody knows to focus on their strengths and weaknesses, and their goals in life, like what you want to do with your life. So I'm going to start out with, I moved here from New York at age 8. I attended public school in Eatontown for a year. I hated it. So I ended up moving to St. James and then continued on to RBC. While I was at St. James, though, I played 3 sports. I was a swimmer, I was on the softball team, and I also played golf. So then when I moved on to RBC, I focused just on swimming and golf. And my senior year, my team and I ended up winning state championships. So to all you Caseys out there, you can look up in the X Center on the girls golf banner, and my team's the only team that's on there. For states, at least. And I also got 3rd place in that state championships. which was a really, really incredible accomplishment for me. But while I was in high school, and honestly my entire life, I haven't really been that great with academics, for many reasons. But after RBC, I got recruited by many colleges for golf. I ended up at Fairfield University in Connecticut, playing golf there. And when I got there, I was a little surprised. I was honestly shocked, because the coach, that one of the reasons that I had gone there, he called it retiring, but he didn't tell us. He never actually spoke to us about anything having to do with his retirement or the fact that we were getting a new coach or anything like that. But it ended up working out because I went in as a biomedical engineering major. I don't know why the heck I ended up picking that. Actually, no, I do know. I was trying to be my mom. And because I was planning on being a doctor. That was my plan. Little did I know, that was not the right plan for me. But once I got to Fairfield, I really liked it, except for the schoolwork. But I was so distracted because I was gone every single weekend, pretty much, of the fall semester, for golf tournaments. And the ones that I wasn't away for, I was out partying. And that just got me away from my schoolwork. And looking back on it now, I regret not paying as much attention to my schoolwork, but I'm also happy because I found what I actually want to do with my life, and it's not be a doctor. As much as I respect that field so much, it's just not my thing. But anyway, so I ended up failing out of Fairfield, and I came home and started up at Brookdale. And while I was at Brookdale, I was still majorly distracted by just a bunch of other things, not really partying, but just the people I ended up surrounding myself with and spending my time with weren't the best people. But anyway, and after a year and a half at Brookdale, I decided that I was going to go to Utila, which is an island off Honduras, and I was going to get my dive instructor certification, which was probably the best decision of my life so far. But so I lived there for 6 months, and I loved it there. And then in the summer of 2019, I came home and was ready to go back to school. But then on my first day of school, I woke up totally ready. I was a little nervous, obviously, but I ended up waking up and my dog had to go to the vet really urgently. And we ended up having to put him down that morning. So it was a horrible, horrible start to the day. And then I went to school. I had a great day at school, even though I had a really rough morning. And loved my classes. But Then after school was finished, I went out to dinner with my family. And then after dinner, I decided that I was going to go up and visit my then friend at her apartment in Rutgers, because I'd rather spend the night up at her apartment than spend it in a room without my dog, because my dog slept with me every night. But that was a mistake on my part, for a couple of reasons, but I ended up going off the road on Route 18, and I crashed into an overpass, so a bridge over the road. And they airlifted me after an hour and a half of extraction from the car. I'm just going to show you guys a picture of the car now. Hold on, let me just pull it up.
IT support is on the way, Kaylee.
I got it.
Did you get it?
Yep.
Use the mouse.
I'm trying.
We can see it.
Okay.
Wow.
But in that picture is from after the car was already moved from where it was, under the overpass. And so anyway, I was airlifted from there to Robert Wood Johnson, in East Brunswick or New Brunswick. And then I needed to take another helicopter the next morning from there to UPenn's hospital, Penn Presbyterian, where the head of neurology ended up being able to, or neurosurgery, sorry, ended up being able to actually save my life. And it was quite the next 2 weeks for my family, because I just kept going in and out, not really sure if I was going to survive. It was a hard time for my family. But then I was in a coma for 2 months. And then 2 months later, I woke up and had no memory at all of that day. Which was a little scary because I still don't remember the accident at all. Like the last thing that I remember is someone cutting me off a solid amount back from where the accident was. Like 5 miles back from where the accident was. And I remembered crying. So I had thought that, when I woke up, I thought that the reason I had been crying was because my mom and I had gotten into a fight, because that was normal for us. My poor mother. But after those 2 months in the ICU in my coma, I spent another couple weeks in the ICU, just getting more stable because I was awake now. But I still couldn't see out of one of my eyes, and that was an issue for them. But after that, I moved to an inpatient rehab. Okay. To an inpatient rehab, which was called JFK, and it was up in Edison. And there I really started improving. I was able to walk. It was a big difference. So now I'm just gonna show y'all a picture of me while I was in my coma, okay? Now this one's a little rough. Hold on, I'm just trying to find. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. I'm not. Good.
I hear IT support over there on your shoulder.
Yep. Okay, there it is. Yep, I did. So that was me while I was in my coma. And I know it's a little hard to see pictures like that. Because what I didn't even notice until today when I was looking at the picture was that on my right side over here, you can see where my forehead is just not there, it looks like. But now I'm here. But anyway, so after a month in inpatient rehab, I went home finally right before Christmas and got to spend Christmas at home, which was great. And I started outpatient rehab at Kessler, which they completely got me back to where I am now. It's honestly crazy how much they have improved my how much they've improved me. Then the day after Christmas, I went to go meet and get my first checkup with the new arm surgeon, because I had one at Penn, but when we went for my checkup, he pretty much told me that, I think his exact words were, "Oh, well, I can't fix it. I never thought I'd have a conversation with you." So he pretty much told me that he thought I was going to die. Yeah. But then the day after Christmas, it was a great Christmas present because he then I went and met him. And as soon as he walked into the room and looked at my scans, he said, "Oh yeah, I've done this before. I can fix this," which hadn't been heard of because I had met with 3 other doctors. They said they were going to have to cut the end of the bone off. It was going to be a mess. I wasn't going to have full use of my arm. And now I'm back golfing and swimming. And it's incredible. But about 2 to 3 months after that surgery, which was in the middle of January, I was back swimming and working out and back to starting to work on me again, getting back to the real me. Because anyone that knows me knows that swimming is who I am. I am a fish. I've always been a fish ever since I was born, pretty much. I'm going to show y'all another picture, all right? And this is of me getting ready to get into the pool the first time. Good joke. Hold on. But so I was so excited to get back in that water. It was a little cold, not gonna lie. But it was incredible for me because I got to be there with my mom, and my brother was the lifeguard that day at the pool. It was just a great day for me. And after that, I was able to start getting my hair dyed, and I actually got a little trim on my hair. Even though, so I'm going to tell y'all a little backstory because my hair has been a touchy subject for my entire life. And when I was in the coma still, it was the first month, I think. First 2 to 3 weeks, as I'm hearing from my IT support. And they had just left my hair. They shaved the front part back to about mid scalp. But they left a whole huge clump of it just in the back in a scrub cap, which anyone hearing that would say, "Are you kidding me? That's crazy." There was so much dirt and blood and crap, excuse my language, but crap in my hair that there was no way it was safe or clean or anything like that. The nurses had tried to wash my hair, and my mom had tried to wash my hair, but didn't work. So one night, while my mom and everyone that was in the hospital, in my room at least, went back to the hotel and were sleeping and hanging out, my dad was in the hospital room with me. And he took a pair of scissors and he cut off my hair. Well, the nurse. With the nurse. But she claimed that she was going to say that she had no idea what was going on. But so then when I finally woke up from the coma and I found out who had cut my hair, I promised him that I would give him a haircut, which I haven't done yet. So we'll see if it actually happens or not. But so back to me getting back to me. I've realized over the past 18 months now it's been since the accident, that some of the things that I thought were my strengths really, really weren't. They were some of my biggest weaknesses. Like the fact that I thought I needed to have friends with me all the time. I thought I needed to be surrounded by friends and have a bunch of friends. And man, was I wrong. Because some of those friends never showed up for me after that accident. They just, and it's hard to say what they were thinking, but it just hurt. And it made me realize that one of my strengths really was the fact that I had such incredible family around me and supporting me. And I had friends who were just like family. Like my Aunt Sally that's on this call. And just incredible people surrounding me, thanks to my mom and my dad and everything that we were as a family. I would not be here without them today. So yeah, I mean, my family has gotten me through everything in the past 18 months. And now I'm about 85% back to me. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Or any comments?
Ceilie, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Of course.
I will say that along, your journey, I related to a lot of points that you touched on. Always thinking I needed to surround myself with people. They may not have been the right people. And yeah, we, sometimes it takes something for us to realize that. I too went to Brookdale Community College for a little bit. Had no idea what, I wanted to do. Everybody's journey is different, and
For sure.
you're just amazing. And you talked a lot about how it was all the doctors and your family, and which is huge. But a lot of it is because of who you are.
Thank you.
So strong, and trying to get the words out, and I'm kind of choking a little bit. I don't know how you got through your story. Just so strong. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, you're amazing. And I hope soon we can get together.
Yes, same.
Kaylee's journey is not over yet.
Nope, that's for sure.
We have some work to do, and she's just really made such tremendous progress. I can't imagine how things are so different. You wake up one day and you think everything is going to be how your life is, right? We talk about that a lot, right, Ceilie? Just
Yeah.
one moment changes everything, and your priorities change completely.
Yep.
Ceilie, I have a question for you. You talked about your family and all, but I'd like to even dive deeper where your strength comes from. The one thing that impresses me the most about you, and I'm not just saying this because I know you, but you've had such grace through all of this. I think that for some people, when they go through something so painful, that they don't always have that grace. They might want to just pull the covers over their head or say, forget it, I don't want to do this. So where do you kind of think your strength comes from?
Well, first, thank you so much, Carla. I would have to say that my strength probably comes from my mom and dad. And I'm not just saying that because they're sitting here listening, but it really, I think that's exactly where it comes from. I mean, I've only seen my dad cry 4 times, and
Well, wait till you cut his hair.
And I mean, throughout my recovery, my mom and I have gotten so much closer. I used to fight with her so often, and we used to argue, and I used to try and hold her at arm's length because I didn't want to be that girl who was always hanging out with her friends, with her mom, I mean. But I really have no problem being that girl anymore. You know, I spend time with my mom as much as possible now. And I love my family so much. And I also think that a lot of my strength has come from God too. Because I don't think I would have made it through what I've made it through without God being there. Because I know I've heard from so many people how many prayers they've said for me. And I've heard from my mom how many prayers she said for me, how much time she spent on her knees next to my hospital bed. I almost said my hotel room. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely been for my family, my parents, and my brother. He's so strong. As much as I won't tell him that. He's so strong. Any other questions?
Hey, Kaylee, this is Michael. I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank you again for coming out and speaking with us. I know it definitely could not have been easy to, retell your story, but, it really did taught me a lot about perseverance and really not giving up. So I just wanted to take the time to, thank you for that. It really is truly inspiring. And I'm in need of golf lessons. If you ever want to give me some tips, just let me know.
Sounds good. I'm around.
Thank you again.
Sure. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank you, Ceilie, for coming this evening again and speaking with us. You are such an inspiration, I think, to all of us here. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Michaela.
I'm one of Kaylee's family members. I just want you all to know, for her to get through, she was stubborn when she was a very little girl. When I say stubborn, she knows what I'm talking about. Her and my son drove around, and she drove, not him, in the little go-kart in the backyard. But her stubbornness helped her get through the past 18 months because she always wanted to do it. She never gave up. So remember that, because she really went through things that I'm going to cry, because to see her like this is a gift for us, to see her back to almost her. This is her new her. I think she's back. So
agreed, Dane.
Thank you, Aunt Dana.
Ceilie, so as I said, Ceilie is a good friend of my family's, and we actually have done some triathlons in the past together. And
yes, we have.
Yes, and I was going to say, you say that you're almost at full capacity with where you were before, but I like seeing tonight, I can't even begin to like corroborate that, like that's the truth. Like you really have come so far, and it's incredible.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Aren't you doing part of the triathlon this year, Miss Ceilie?
Yes, I am.
What are you doing?
The swim and the bike.
Awesome.
She's back.
Love it.
Ceilie, hi, this is Bridget.
Hi.
Hi. So I don't want to get emotional, but this hits very close to home for me right now. And, I think there are no accidents, because I'm kind of struggling with my mother. She had a different injury. She had a brain aneurysm. So she had bleeding on her brain and a few brain surgeries. She was also at JFK. We were there for Christmas. We went through your whole story of everything in the hospital, and
just all of it, and all the incredible doctors and nurses, and unbelievable. And like you, they call her a miracle, you know. She wasn't supposed to live, I mean, according to medicine, right? But she is struggling now, and I'm struggling with her. I was just wondering, so she was always like a person of faith, but I think she's not turned against God, but she's wondering like why. She's lived a great life. She's been a good person, a mom, and she's an incredible person. Why would God choose her for this to happen to? And has a lot of pride, which probably is a character defect and not an asset, which I think she realizes now, you know, that she's not where you are, right? She's not back to that herself, and it's hard. And I was wondering if you had any advice, or if, you know, she's depressed, and I don't see as much of a fighting spirit in her as you have, and I'm so inspired by you. I was just wondering if you were in a support group, or if you knew of anything like that for people who could share their stories with each other. Any kind of advice would be great.
Sure. So I have two things. One, the Brain Injury Alliance of New Jersey. They've got a bunch of different things going on all the time. So you can just look on their website, and they update it nearly daily. But also you could just tell her that as much as it's a pain and it sounds like just another person coming along to tell her to be positive and all that, tell her that although it feels like God let this happen to her and he's letting her go through this whole struggle and all that, someone said to me actually that God may have let this happen to you, but think about more so the idea of why he pulled you through it and why you're still here and still alive. Because there's obviously a reason that you're still here.
Yes.
And so try and just have her thank God that he is there.
Right. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. That's great. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Sure.
Did anyone else have anything to share or have a question?
Haley also has a therapist that she talks to regularly, and she it's a great avenue for her. We're not part of it. It's her off in another part of the house, and she gets to talk and say what frustrates her and what she's happy about. And
okay,
it's a great thing to have someone outside of the family that you can vent to.
It's nearly a necessity.
Okay, so thank you for that.
In our family, it's definitely a necessity.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to find anybody outside the family if you're in the family.
Yep.
You can hear all the family laughing in the background.
We're in the same situation, big family. And my dad goes to therapy with her. And I think that she should go alone. And that's my feeling, because I feel like she might hold back. So that was interesting that you said that Ceilie, you do the therapy alone. So
yeah. I started with not really minding too much, at least after the accident, if my parents were around. But it actually made my therapist more comfortable when it was just us talking.
Okay.
Okay. Because I actually go to two therapists that I just talk to now. One is a neuropsychologist, and he kind of helped me with the fact that when I first came home from JFK, I was just mad as hell at my mom all the time.
Okay.
And I feel so bad now, especially looking back on it, because it was about this time last year. And I was horrible to her.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Sure. She
No,
tells
you
me that personally. not in a big setting like this, but yeah.
Okay.
Horrible is relative. It was relative. But I said to her, I prayed on my knees to have another fight with her. Those first 2 weeks, I prayed every single minute, please, dear God, let me have one more big blowout with her. So every time we had an argument, I remembered my prayers and I said, thank you for answering my prayers.
Yes.
It puts things in perspective when you realize, that I'm praying for an argument with my daughter. Who does that?
Yeah.
Right. We understand.
But yeah, Bridget, I mean, I hope that your mom gets to the point that I'm at now. And I'm sure she will.
Yeah. Thank you. It's inspiring to see you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you so much, really.
Thank you, Ceilie.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Carly Dietrich. I'm Tigger House Foundation's Student Alliance Coordinator, as well as our Addiction Navigator. I'm a dedicated navigator to Tigger House Foundation to help anyone who's struggling with addiction find the appropriate treatment to meet them where they are at in their journey of substance use disorder. And I'm very happy to be doing this for our community. As a lot of you know on the call, it is a huge need. With the pandemic, we really aren't even seeing the damage that it has done, but we are happy. We're here to help 24/7. So please do reach out. And for some of the new faces on the call, I'm really happy you all joined. Ceilie has quite the fan club. A lot of you are familiar faces from being at Riverview, and it's really good to see you. So I'll kind of close out the night. Carla, did you want to say anything?
I just want to thank everyone for joining. I think, again, the takeaway from this and putting in perspective with helping students understand addiction and wellness, Ceilie, everything you said is about, we talk a lot about being our best selves, about perseverance, about strength when things get rough. And I think, your story just hits on all those topics. And I do encourage you to keep speaking because you were just so eloquent. You tell your story so beautifully. It's so empowering. I remember just my own personal sitting with your dad. I know he's there at the hospital. It wasn't that long after the accident. And we talked about you one day being like a motivational speaker. And here you are. And I am so proud and so grateful. And I think your message just hits so close to home for everyone because it is about just finding your strength, moving on. And I think a lot of the lessons, that you learned, we all have to look around ourselves. Maybe we didn't have this accident, but we have to realize, like, who are the people around us? Who really cares about us? Where do we get our strength from? And so thank you. I mean, this is such a teachable moment for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Love you.
If it is okay with you, Ceilie, we will share your maybe your email just in case some people want to get in touch with you. I can talk to you offline. What's the best way, just so we can stay connected.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
And thank you all the guests for coming on tonight. You guys are the best.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody.